Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Aliel. Would I be the beehole for lying about why I don't want to be a bridesmaid? Kyla and I both, a 32-year-old female, have been friends since elementary school. When she got engaged this Christmas, she didn't ask me to be a bridesmaid because it was an automatic given. I love Kyla, but the problem is that her wedding is taking place overseas and that would cost more than I think is reasonable. Kyla's fiancé is from a tiny, far north Scandinavian town. It's where their wedding is happening. A couple weeks ago, due to some family pressures, they changed the date from midsummer to next year, midsummer this year, about 4 months away. Between flights, hotel, most everything in town has already been booked for midsummer, including spare rooms, a couch for his families at home, so the rooms at the final available stays are around 300p/n for 7 days of the wedding events. The rental car, the bridesmaid's dress, the full traditional outfit required to be worn for some of the events, pet boarding as well as general incidentals, and we were looking at a minimum of 8,000. Kyla was very apologetic about the change when she announced it, but it has not been acknowledged just how big of an impact this is. My husband and I have good jobs, and we're lucky that we don't have to worry about the day-to-day expenses of life. But we do still have to be thoughtful and save for any larger purchases or travel. For the last 4 years, we've been saving for a 10th anniversary trip, a 3-week tour around Japan. Oh, lucky, I'm so jealous. Anne had just booked flights when the date change was announced. Kyla did not know. I had just booked the flights, and when she broke the news, she actually said, "You're so lucky, you've been saving all that money for vacation anyway." Ooh, ooh. Here's where I might be the beehole. I also had a destination wedding. My husband and I got married in Alaska right out of college when most of our friends, including Kyla, didn't have particularly good or secure jobs. We know that this wasn't exactly fair to us, but we split the rental of a big house with our friends, and flights to Alaska aren't anywhere near 2K each it would cost us to fly to Kyla's wedding. I'm scared that if I tell her the truth why we can't go, it's too damn expensive. It will ruin our friendship. I could see why it would. She was a bridesmaid for me, while far less financially secure than from we are now. She knows we have a lot of money saved for travel. Yeah, travel for you, not for her wedding, but fine. I fear she would question if our friendship is not worth canceling our Japan plans and flights. Our friendship means a lot to me, but I think it's fair to plan a wedding this expensive to attend and expect me to cancel our dream trip to accommodate it. I don't want to risk it, so my idea was to lie and say we have to go do a major home repair, fixing the foundation maybe. That will cost all of what we saved, plus more. Then when it comes time for the Asia trip, we say we were gifted a trip by my husband's parents. I know there is a risk she would find the truth out and be even angrier. Is the risk worth it to avoid telling her the truth? Hi, OP. You should just tell her the truth. That is insane. She's expecting you guys to spend what, 8K to travel to her wedding? Maybe this is coming from me who could not give a rat's arse about a wedding. No, don't waste your trip money to Japan, which I've always wanted to go to Japan, but I gotta find someone to travel with. I gotta find money, and yeah, plus I don't know the language, so that does kind of scare me a little bit. But sorry, back to you. Yeah, OP, do not cancel your dream trip. I would not cancel my trip to Japan if I had that saved up and ready to go, unless it was something catastrophic, like a family member that I care about is, you know, spending their last days on Earth. And then she's over there joking, "Oh, good thing you have all that money saved up." Yeah, that's money you saved up for your trip, not for her wedding. And I get it, she was your bridesmaid and all that, but that was different times and a lot less expensive. She's being a bridezilla. OP, you shouldn't have to be afraid to tell someone like that. If she's your friend, she'll understand. Tell her, OP, tell her the truth and be like, "Hey, that's money we're saved up for our trip. I'm sorry, but it's too expensive, and changing a date on us like that messes things up. That's so rude." I don't know where she got it in her head, where she can just change the date and expect everyone to drop everything and change what you had planned. So, OP, tell her the truth. Don't try to do all this cloak and dagger nonsense. If she's mad at you and friendship's over, oh well, just be done with it. And enjoy your trip to Japan. I am extremely jealous of you. Not the beehole. And our next one comes from Bulky Put 8607. Am I the beehole for telling people to get the F out of the hospital room? My 8-year-old son Jackson needed to have his tonsils removed, and the surgery was scheduled for Monday. Since it was a week away, my ex and I told our family about it. The day of the surgery, it was just me and the ex at the hospital. It took an hour to prep him, and the actual surgery was like 30 minutes. There were some complications, like his blood pressure dropped too low, probably because of the anesthesia, which was the first warning sign that the anesthesia didn't mix well with him. The doctor said the nurses were getting him to his room and checking vitals, and we could see him in 30 minutes. Out of the blue, my ex's parents, her husband, and his 2 kids came in. They had balloons and presents and felt like they were overdoing it, but whatever. I was pissed that she didn't tell me they were coming. A few minutes after that, a nurse came and said he needed dad because Jackson was hysterical from the anesthesia. Most of the kids are zonked out, but my son was crying and screaming for me. I had never seen him like that. Like he was on meth or something. I cuddled and comforted him, and then the circus came through the door. My ex brought in everybody, and they were loud. Jackson didn't recognize them and started freaking out. His stepbrother started laughing and recording it. His stepdad kept trying to kiss him, and his grandparents were just obnoxious. I told everyone if they could pipe down, because Jackson was getting upset. My ex told me not to be rude, and I said, get the F out. I didn't invite any of these people into the room. You did. Her mom said, yes, we're invited. I said, get out. All of you before I have you thrown out. Everyone but my ex left. My ex is still expecting me to apologize to everyone. I'm open to having a conversation, but I am not apologizing. If they can't acknowledge my experience, I was totally rude, but so were they. I am also pissed that my ex invited everyone without telling me. This isn't some school play. And no, my son has no memory between the time they drugged him at 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. when he sobered up. Hi, OP. You are definitely not the beehole in this situation. Your son wanted his father, you, and he's not in the right frame of mind coming out from anesthesia like that. And then all these people come in, hooting, hollering, laughing, being loud, that's gotta be terrifying when you're not in your right mind and you have all this going on around you, all this stimulation when you just want quiet and want to be comforted by someone you know and love. But I agree with you, OP. Do not apologize. You did nothing wrong. What you had to do was, what was right for your son, and he was freaking out, and getting them out would calm him down. I can't believe any of these people. Do these people just come to be nosy or something? Because if, you know what I mean? If I'm coming to see someone who's sick and my presence is making them worse, I would want to leave because I don't want them to be sicker or still be sick, you know what I mean? I don't know about having the whole conversation with them. They sound very stubborn and narcissistic because they said, oh, we're invited and blah, 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 blah. It should only be, the immediate family members, the father, the ex, which I don't think the ex should be there either. She sounds like a real piece of work. But yeah, OP, you're not the beehole. And our next one comes from Silly Lead 5811. Am I the beehole for telling my friend it's not my fault that I am skinny? This could be so trivial, but it's proving to have potential to ruin our friendship. I, a 26-year-old female, have had my best friend, a 26-year-old female, since we were toddlers. Growing up together, been through all of it together. Context, I guess it's just I'm quite slender. I take pride in my weight, my health, and I know she does too, but she's always struggled with her weight. We used to gym together, but it never really stuck. The other night, I had my boyfriend and her over for dinner. It was an awesome night, but she kept making comments, and she does all the time, has constantly over the years. Things like, oh well, of course you can, because you're skinny, and, well yeah, this is never a thin person's problem. I got really awkward, and this was only her second time meeting my boyfriend. We've only been dating for 4 months. I've had enough and snapped saying, look, it's not my fault I'm skinny, okay? The rest of this evening was, as you can imagine, pretty awkward. and she has now not spoken to me in days, when we usually talk every single day without fail. The reasons why I think I'm the beehole are because she went out on a date with a guy recently after talking to him for weeks. She was so excited, but when she showed up at the restaurant, this nice fancy place she'd been wanting to go to for a while, he literally said, you're a lot bigger than your photos suggested. I knew how upset she was, and it made me so mad to think the guy could ever have the audacity to say that to her. So yeah, am I the beehole? Edit. Update. Sorry. I'm very much realizing that saying I'm proud of my weight has been an issue with this. I do understand why it was poor wording. I just really meant that for my own health, you don't look, I'm gonna break for this. You don't have to justify that it's for your health. That's good that it's for your health. But I was the same, I was a big boy growing up, and when I lost the weight, yeah, it feels nice to flex and have muscles. And it's nice to not feel like you're carrying another person. Well, I wasn't that big, but you know what I mean? I felt self-conscious. It's nice to see that going away. I can wear shirts, and not have to wear a baggy jacket all the time. So yeah, you shouldn't let people shame you into having to be like, it's for health. Yeah, it's for health, that's too, but it's just nice to look nice. Sorry, back to the story. I enjoy being the body that I currently am, as it works best for me. I do not think that weight is a direct factor in someone's health or value. More that all shapes and sizes are awesome and worthy. Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you on the maybe not the value, but definitely in health. Weight is a factor in health. Weight where it makes everything worse. If you're sick with something and you're obese, it's worse. So yes, it does play a factor. I don't believe in this kumbaya nonsense where everybody's healthy at any size. No, you're not, because I was a big boy and when I did my miles, it took me 22 minutes to do a mile, watching everybody smoke me and feeling like crap. And my body felt like crap. Mentally, everything crap. So I don't believe in this healthy at any size BS. And yeah, you should be proud of that size. It's not easy to, go to the gym every day, get healthy, watch your eating. That takes discipline. That's why people find that attractive. It shows that you take care of yourself and you care about yourself. And to the part where you're saying that might make you the beehole, where she went on a date and the guy said she was different or bigger than she was in the picture. I don't feel bad for her. Sorry, I don't. Come on. People know, she might be taking it at angles where you can hide some things. Like when it comes to dating, I don't do dating apps, waste of time. I'm a guy. I'm not going to find someone through a dating app. But she needs to be real. And what did you expect when you come to the date and you're catfishing the guy, kind of? I'm not going to say full catfish because she is her, but you got to show what you look like. You know what I mean? If you're showing old pictures or pictures at angles where you look skinnier and more attractive, and then when you show up, I'm not going to go along with it. People shouldn't have to go along with it and spend money on someone who's over, you know what I mean? I'm not, yeah, she's lying. I guess she's lying because update your pictures if it's that and take it at proper angles where people can see all of you, because it's gonna happen. A lot of people are tired of this and people aren't. I'm sorry, I don't blame the guy. I'm with him. I'm not gonna spend a ton of money at a very fancy smancy restaurant because it's probably gonna be what, 200 300, because it's, from what it sounds like, it sounds expensive. And I'm not gonna waste money on someone who's already starting off with a lie. Sorry, I'm just not. But OP, as to you, no, you're not the beehole. Like you said, you put in the work, you watch your weight. She's the one taking little pot shots at you and making it sound like, oh, you didn't have to do hard work. It's woe is me. Everything is so hard for me. When in reality, yeah, losing weight's hard, and it's a frame of mind too. Because even when I lost weight back in the day, I still had to be mentally, like, don't eat that. You already ate. Don't eat that. It's mental too. But I'm saying, OP, no. She was the one poking and prodding you. You finally snapped. Something's eventually going to give when people poke and prod at you like that. And she needs to learn that, yeah, it sucks, but you got to work out. You got to lose the weight and you got to watch your eating. And plus, she's doing this in front of your boyfriend. Maybe she's trying to make you look bad in front of him. Like, ooh, look at me. I'm putting down the skinny girl. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too far into this. I'm probably going to get roasted. I really don't care. That's just how I feel about this one. OP, not the beehole. Your friend needs to... I assume this is a... over time, you guys will start talking again and you'll go back to being friends. That's what I think is going to happen. But not the beehole. thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.